This is how to solve a Rubik's Cube made easy. We're going to start off by learning about the 3 different types of pieces in a Rubik's Cube, starting off with center pieces, which are located at the center of every side. There are 6 of these all around the cube, and they always stay in the same place. So no matter how you turn your cube, the centers will never move. These centers determine which color will be on each side when the cube is in the solved state. Next up comes edges. Edges have 2 colors on them, and they are located between 2 centers. So right here we have an edge with the colors white and blue. Edges, unlike centers, they can move around to different positions of the cube. Now let's talk about the last piece, corners. Corners have 3 colors and are located between 3 centers. For example, right here, this corner right here has white, blue, and orange. Corners, like edges, can move around to different positions of the cube. So now we know about the 3 different type of pieces in a Rubik's Cube. Let's do a quick overview of the method we will be using to solve the cube. So we will be solving the cube layer by layer. So we will start off by completing the first layer. Then we will complete the second layer, thus completing 2 layers. Then we will finish the last layer, thus completing the entire cube. So now let's show you the process of how we will make the first layer. We're going to start off by making what is called a white daisy, where we have 4 white edges surrounding a yellow center. Afterwards, we will move on and make the white cross, where we will have white edges surrounding the white center, as well as the sides matching the side centers. And then afterwards, we will put in the corners, thus completing the first layer. So this is how to solve the daisy. You're going to want to hold the cube with yellow center on top, and by default, the white center will be on the bottom. It doesn't matter which center is in front. What you're going to want to do is turn the right layer up, and you're going to keep on turning it until you get a white edge that matches the yellow center. In this instance, it just took us 2 turns, and as you can see, we solved 1 piece of the daisy. Now what you're going to do is rotate your entire cube to the right, and now you're going to repeat the same process. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. And we've turned it 3 times, and we still have no matching edge. So what we're actually going to do now, after a max of 3 times, is we're going to turn the bottom layer to the right. Both bottom layers, we're going to turn them to the right. And then now we're going to repeat the same process. And now we got 1 matching, so we solved 2 pieces of the daisy. Now we're going to turn the cube to the right and repeat the same process 2 times, and we did it. Now we're going to turn the cube to the right. 1, 2, 3, still none. Now we're going to rotate the bottom 2 layers to the right. 1 turn, and we've completed the daisy. As you can see, all 4 white edges now surround the yellow center. So now we completed the white daisy, time to move on to the white cross. What you're going to want to do is hold the yellow center on top again, and whites will default be on bottom. It doesn't matter what center is in front. You're going to turn the top layer until you get the edge piece to match the center piece. As you can see, these are both red, so they match now. And what you're going to do is turn the front face clockwise twice. Now we're going to rotate the cube to the right and repeat the same process. Turn the top layer until we get a matching colors here. These blue match. Now we can turn the front face twice. Now we're going to do the same thing again. Turn, turn, turn. These match, so now we can do the front face twice. And then these happen to match, so we can just do the front face twice. And now we've thus completed the white cross. So now we're going to complete the first layer by solving the corners of the first layer. What you're going to want to do is hold the cube with yellow on top. White will default be on bottom. It doesn't matter which center is in front, but you'll want to know which center is in front. In this instance, it's the blue center. You also want to know what center is in the right, which is the red center. And the bottom one is white by default, so what we will want to do is find the blue, red, and white corner to go in this location. So what we're going to do is turn the top layer to the left, And we're going to keep on turning it until we find the piece and put it in our top right corner. Now we're going to learn the very first algorithm of this tutorial, one of two algorithms, and this algorithm we're going to call it the righty algorithm. What you want to do with the righty algorithm is move the top layer to the left, the right layer up, top layer to the right, and right layer down. And that is the righty algorithm, which we now put this piece into the spot, but we put it in incorrectly. So what we're going to actually do is repeat this algorithm again. Top layer to the left, right layer up, top layer to the right, right layer down. And we've taken it out again, but now let's just do it one more time. Top layer to the left, right layer up, top layer to the right, right layer down, and now it's solved. So basically what happens is you're going to keep on repeating that algorithm until the corner is solved correctly. Now we're going to move on. We're going to rotate the cube to the right, and we see this happens to match where it belongs. So we're going to do the algorithm. Top layer to the left, right layer up, right top layer to the right, and right layer down. And just one time we happen to complete this. Now we're going to move on and do this one. So we move the top layer, and we find it matches. We just need to do it once. Now we're going to move the top layer one time, and it matches, and now we completed the first layer. But note, sometimes you might get weird cases like this, where you can't find anything in the top, and that's because the pieces are stuck on the bottom. So what you're going to want to do when that happens is you're going to want to make sure you hold the piece you want to take out in your bottom right corner, and you're going to use the righty algorithm as I just taught, and that will take it out and put it to the top layer, and now you will get a case you recognize. And thus you can complete the first layer. So now let's move on to the middle layer. You're going to want to hold the yellow center on top, and by default, the white center will be on bottom. It doesn't matter what center is in front. You're going to want to move the top layer until you get an upside down T. As you can see, this is upside down. And you'll also want to make sure that this is an edge piece here that belongs in the middle layer. In this instance, it wants to go to the right here. So there are two possibilities, one where it wants to go to the right, and the other, which we have right here, where it wants to go to the left. So we're going to start off with the case where it wants to go to the right. What you're going to do is perform the first algorithm I taught you, the righty algorithm. Top face to the left, right face up, top face to the right, right face down. And then now you're going to rotate your cube to the left, so the side on the right will be in the front. And now you're going to do a new algorithm called the lefty algorithm. This algorithm is called the lefty algorithm because it is just simply the mirrored version of the righty algorithm. The exact same thing, just mirrored. You're going to move the top face to the right, left face up, top face to the left, and left face down. And thus, we completed the righty case. So as I talked about earlier, you might get what is called the inverse case where the piece wants to go to the left. And what you want to do instead is do the lefty algorithm first. Top face to the right, left face up, top face to the left face down, and you'll rotate your cube to the right so the center on left is in your front, and do the righty algorithm. Top face to the left, right face up, top face to the right, right face down. And thus, you complete this edge. So now you should be able to solve the middle layer, except for you might run into a problem. You keep on turning the top layer and you can't find an edge piece. And that's because it's stuck in the middle layer. In this instance, what you will want to do is the righty algorithm. And then rotate the cube to the left and do the lefty algorithm. And now the piece should be in the top layer. So basically, you just use the first case I taught you, and now you'll get a case you recognize. So now let's move on to the last layer. The very first step of solving the last layer is solving what is called the yellow cross. The yellow cross might look really similar to the white cross because it is also a cross, but just note the sides do not have to match the centers on the side. So what you're going to want to do for this is you're going to want to take a look at what case you have, as there are 4 different possible cases. First case is where you simply have a cross solved already. You can skip the step by default, but it's very important still to learn the step, as most of the time this doesn't happen. The next case I'm going to talk about is the hardest case, which is the dot. Then comes a case called the line, and then there's a case called the backwards L. So we're going to start off with the dot case, which is the hardest case. So with the dot case, you're going to want to hold yellow on top. It doesn't matter what center is in front of you. And what you're going to do is you're going to hold through the front face. You're going to turn it clockwise. Then now you're going to do the righty move, which I taught you. Top face to the left, right face up, top face to the right, right face down. And now you're going to move the front face counterclockwise. And now you'll have what is the line case. So we built the line case. So for the line case, it doesn't matter which face is in front. As long as yellow center is on top, you're going to do the same algorithm. Front face clockwise, top face to the left, right face up, top face to the right, right face down, front face counterclockwise. And now you have what is called the backwards L case. So I know these might not look the same, but if you just turn the top layer twice, as you can see, we have a backwards L. So you want to hold the cube so it looks like there's a backwards L. And now what you're going to do for this case is turn the front face clockwise and do the righty algorithm again and front face backwards. So basically the same algorithm. And now your yellow cross is solved. The next step of solving the last layer comes orienting the corners, where we will finish the yellow face of the entire cube. So what you will want to do is turn your cube upside down with yellow on bottom and white on top. And what you're going to want to do is turn the bottom layer until you get an unsolved or unoriented corner on your bottom right front slot. So right here we have an unoriented corner, as this is not facing the right way. If we had this corner here, this yellow is facing the right way, so this is properly oriented, but this one isn't. So now what you're going to do is do the righty algorithm once, and then you're going to do it and keep on repeating it until the corner is oriented the right way. I know we destroyed some other stuff, but we will fix it. Now you're going to turn the bottom layer. You're going to turn it until you find another unoriented corner. In this instance, this one. And now we're going to keep on repeating the righty algorithm. And now the yellow face is solved. So the next step comes permuting all the yellow corners so all of them are correctly solved. So what you're going to want to do is hold the cube with yellow on top. Doesn't matter which center is in front. You're going to turn the top layer to the left until you get two corners that are solved in their correct position. In this instance, we have two diagonal corners that are solved. Next up, we're going to do, so for this one, we're going to keep on turning it, and now we have two corners solved. These corners are next to each other, so we call this the adjacent case, and we call this the diagonal case. The diagonal case is the harder case, which we will simplify into the adjacent case, so we will start off with the diagonal case. For the diagonal case, what you will want to do is move the left layer up once, do the righty algorithm twice, move the left layer back down, do the righty algorithm 3 times, move the left layer up, do the righty algorithm once, and move the left layer down. And now, if you turn the top layer, keep on turning it to align 2 sides, you will get the adjacent case. So for the adjacent case, you will want to hold the solved corners in your back. You're going to want to do the exact same algorithm. Left layer up, do righty algorithms, left layer down, righty algorithm 3 times, left layer up, righty algorithm once, and left layer down. Now you can just align the corners and all of them should be solved. So now comes solving the last layer edges, which is the very last step, thus completing the cube. In this, you will have 2 different type of cases. One where you will have a solved face, and one where you have no solved faces. The case without no solved faces is harder, so we will start with this first. What you're going to want to do is hold any face on front as long as yellow is on top. What you're going to do is do the righty algorithm 5 times. And then you're going to do the lefty algorithm 5 times. And then you're going to do the righty algorithm once and the lefty algorithm once. And now we simplified it to a case where we have one solved face. So for when you have one solved face, what you're going to want to do is hold it in front of you and do the righty algorithm 5 times. And then the lefty algorithm 5 times. and then the righty algorithm once, and the lefty algorithm one more time. And your cube will either end up solved, or you will have to repeat the algorithm again. For example, we have a cube here, one face solved. We do the algorithm once, and the cube is still not complete, so we have to repeat it again. And now the cube is solved. Yeah, with that said, you just learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube. Hope this tutorial helped you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe for more cubing content.